In the early 1990s, a small, picturesque town in central Wisconsin suddenly vanished. There was no evacuation warning, no natural disaster, and no official explanation. One day, Doveland, Wisconsin, simply ceased to exist. But what's even stranger is that some people claim to remember living there, visiting family, or even passing through on road trips. Yet today, there's no trace of it on any map. This is the chilling story of Doveland, Wisconsin, a town that disappeared without a trace. In the late 20th century, Doveland was said to be like any other small Midwestern town. It had a few hundred residents, a post office, general store, and a school. Locals described it as a close-knit community where everyone knew each other. But what really set Doveland apart was its location. It was nestled deep in rural Wisconsin, surrounded by dense forests and rolling farmland. It was peaceful, quiet, and according to some, a little too isolated. But then sometime in the early 1990s, everything changed. People from neighboring towns like Baraboo and Stevens Point began noticing something odd. When they tried to visit Doveland, they couldn't find it. Roads that once led directly to the town seemed to end abruptly in overgrown fields. When they asked others about it, they were met with confusion or worse, denial. It was as if Doveland had never existed. The disappearance of Doveland quickly became the subject of local legends and wild speculation. Some people believe the town was erased by a government experiment gone horribly wrong. They pointed to rumors of secret military testing in the area during the Cold War. The theory goes that Doveland was chosen as a testing ground for experimental technology, perhaps even something as extreme as teleportation or dimensional manipulation. But when the experiment failed, the entire town and everyone in it was wiped from existence. Others believe the explanation is far more paranormal. They claim that Doveland didn't disappear. It shifted into another dimension. This theory is supported by the fact that some people claim to have vivid memories of Doveland. One man from Green Bay insists that he visited his grandparents there as a child. He remembers their home, the town square, and even the name of the local diner. But when he tried to find it years later, it was gone. Then there's the theory that Doveland never existed in the first place, that it's an elaborate urban legend born from false memories and collective imagination. But if that's true, why do some people have physical evidence that Doveland was real? Over the years, a few strange artifacts have surfaced that seem to support the existence of Doveland. One of the most compelling is a postcard. It was found at an estate sale in Madison, Wisconsin in 2003. The postcard is dated June 1990 and is addressed to someone in Milwaukee. The sender writes about their lovely visit to Doveland and describes the town as a hidden gem. Even stranger, the postcard features a photograph of a quaint little main street, but when researchers tried to match the image to any known Wisconsin town, they came up empty-handed. Some skeptics believe the postcard is a hoax, but others argue that it is genuine. Another clue comes from an old cassette tape. A man in Minnesota claims he found it in a box of his father's belongings. The tape is labeled Doveland, 1989, and features what sounds like a local radio broadcast. The announcer talks about upcoming events in Doveland, including a community picnic and a high school football game. Experts who analyze the tape say it appears authentic, but its origins remain a mystery. Despite these clues, no one has ever been able to find any official records of Doveland. It doesn't appear on old maps, property records, or census data. Even Google Earth shows nothing but trees and farmland where the town is said to have been. But that hasn't stopped people from looking. Amateur investigators have spent years trying to unravel the mystery. Some have gone door to door in neighboring towns, asking older residents if they remember Doveland. A few have said yes, but their accounts are vague and inconsistent. One of the most compelling stories comes from a woman named Karen. She claims she grew up in Doveland, but moved away in the 1980s. When she heard the town had disappeared, she was shocked. She says she still has a box of photographs from her childhood in Doveland, but when she went to look for them, the box was missing. Karen believes someone or something doesn't want the truth about Doveland to come out. The story of Doveland is a paradox. On the one hand, there's no concrete proof that the town ever existed. No maps, official records, or photographs that could be definitively linked to Doveland. On the other hand, there are the memories, the artifacts, and the unwavering belief of those who claim to have lived there. Take the story of Emily Grant, for example. Emily grew up in rural Wisconsin and swears she spent summers in Doveland with her aunt and uncle. She remembers their house, the white picket fence, and the apple tree in the backyard. But when she returned as an adult, the house and the town were gone. Emily says she even found an old photograph of her family standing in front of the Doveland town sign. But when she tried to show it to others, the photo vanished. Was it misplaced, stolen, or did it disappear along with the town? And then there's the question no one wants to ask. If Doveland was erased, who or what was responsible? The government experiment theory remains one of the most popular explanations. Some believe Doveland was chosen as the site of a classified project, perhaps involving electromagnetic fields, particle accelerators, or even time travel. When the project went wrong, the theory goes, the town was destroyed, or worse, phased out of existence entirely. But if that's true, why do some people still remember it? Is it possible that their memory survived the eraser, like echoes of a reality that no longer exists? Or could their memories be a fabrication, implanted by whatever forces were at play? Other theories are even more unsettling. Some suggest that Doveland didn't just disappear. It moved, not to another town, but to another dimension. In this scenario, Doveland might still exist, just out of reach, hidden behind an invisible barrier. And if that's the case, could it happen again? Could other towns, your town, be at risk of slipping away, forgotten by the world? The truth about Doveland may never be known. Was it a real town that met a tragic end? A clever hoax designed to confuse and entertain? Or is it something far stranger, proof that our reality is more fragile than we think? Whatever the answer, Doveland reminds us of the power of stories. They shape our memories, our beliefs, and even our sense of what is real. And maybe that's why this mystery continues to captivate us, because deep down, we all know there are some things in this world that cannot be explained. As unsettling as it is, the mystery of Doveland might never be solved. But maybe that's the point. Some mysteries aren't meant to be unraveled. They are meant to keep us guessing, to fuel our imaginations, and to remind us that there are forces in the world we may never fully understand. And while Doveland may have vanished from official records, it still exists in the minds of those who remember it. Those memories are just as real as anything else. Could it be that Doveland is still out there, just beyond our perception, a ghost town trapped between worlds? Could someone one day stumble across it, only to disappear as quickly as the town itself? Or perhaps somewhere in the vast forests of Wisconsin, there's a forgotten road leading to Doveland, waiting for the next curious soul to make the wrong turn and find something they can't explain. As we close this chapter of the Doveland mystery, remember this. Not all things that disappear leave nothing behind. Some things leave traces, whispers, and clues that only the brave or perhaps the foolish will follow. So next time you find yourself driving through rural Wisconsin, keep your eyes open, because you never know when you just might stumble upon something that isn't supposed to be there. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this tale and want to hear more strange stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your theories with me in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and safe, and remember, some things are meant to be left unsolved.